All right, we're back in the shop. We're working on the Savage Impulse again. This is the Predator model. Mine is a 243 Winchester. And as you can see, I have the barrel action out of the stock because I've been doing some work on the stock. So when you buy one of these things, it comes with a sling stud like this on the back and also one on the front right there. Well, I didn't really like that. I like to have a rail there for a number of reasons. It's a lot easier on off with my bipod. So I got one of these quick detach things, my bipod. And at first, what I had done is I just drilled another hole and put in this, small chunk of Picatinny right there, and that was okay. But then I wanted to start shooting this off a tripod. Had it out prairie dog hunting and wanted to shoot off tripod. And well, the Picatinny will clamp into it's my tripod. I got a Really Right Stuff anvil on here, and Picatinny will clamp into there, but it's not ideal. It works. It's a lot more solid. It works a lot better to have Arca. So I wanted to put an Arca rail on this stock, and I looked around a number of places. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but what I found that I think is going to work out pretty good is this guy, Salmon River Solutions. This is their Arca Plus Pick, and actually I already have it on here. There it is. So you get, I don't know what it is, 3 inches of pick rail, and then like 2 inches of Arca, and then there's even like a little hole there to put your, if you still want to run a sling on it. So pretty cool. What I liked about it is that, so ideally with a tripod, you want it to be in the center of the balance of the rifle, which for this particular rifle is probably somewhere back here, and usually it is further back towards your mag well. That's ideal, but at the same time, you put an Arca rail here, it makes it hard to shoot offhand because you're grabbing it right here, and you'll be grabbing that rail. So this, I'll have to see how it actually works, but it seemed like the best of both worlds. I have still have the pick rail for my bipod, and that just slides right on there. Have the Arca for my tripod, and still have the sling stud if I want it. So what I was going to show is how I did it. Now, I already did this just to kind of get it out of the way, and as you didn't want to watch a video of me just like drilling and doing stuff like that, but I'll tell you exactly how I did it. Get this thing to focus. So like I said, it came with a sling stud right here, and that was just threaded into, try to show this off, threaded in the stock. This stock, I think they call it Accu stock, but it actually comes with this piece in here is aluminum. So it's actually like an aluminum, you can kind of see it better, aluminum like mini chassis inside of the, well, plastic stock. And this hole right here was already threaded. That's what the sling stud was threaded into. And you can see I've made a couple of other holes. This one is interesting. Actually, in this stock, there was a hole there, and it was threaded, but it's not. Well, I can't show you because I have this thing in the way now. But it's not actually drilled through the stock. So that would have been an easy place to, just drill another hole there, and you put on another sling stud or whatever, you can use that. But spacing didn't work out quite right for me. So I actually drilled 2 more holes myself, and so the sling stud that was in there, and you know what this hole was threaded for was 1032 threads. So I decided to stick with that, and all I did was I put this on here, put a screw in there, and then marked my other 2 holes where I wanted them, and I just used like a sharp nail and I held it on there, hit it once with a hammer to kind of just make an indent so that your drill bit doesn't walk when you're trying to start that hole, and you get it exactly where you want it to be. And it's right. You can also see there's like a seam here. That's the, as far as I can tell, that's the exact center line of this ridge in here inside the mini chassis. So that helps to line it up as well. But then all I did is, for 1032, you want, this is a 5/32 bit, and I just drilled through here. Now, I would highly recommend using a drill press so that you get everything plumb. You're drilling your holes, you know, perfectly straight. I do not have a drill press, so I use this guy instead, and that can work. I've used that a number of times. You just got to be careful. You got to have a pretty good eyeball. Make sure that you're drilling it perfectly plumb. But that worked out just fine. And then I used a little bit bigger bit. This is 7/32. After I drilled that hole, I used this to drill down just through the stock, and I stopped when I hit the aluminum of the mini chassis. And the reason for that is that you want to drill that out a little bit wider so that your screw can go in there, and it's not engaging the plastic of the stock. We want it to engage the aluminum inside the mini chassis. So then I just took my 10/32 or 1032 tap right here, and this is just out of a cheap hand tap and die set, but it works good for my purposes. And again, after you drill your hole with the drill bit, you just run this down here. You know, just take it easy. Again, you got to have a pretty steady hand, pretty good eyeball to make sure that it's staying plumb, and you're not, you know, one way or another making a crooked hole. You don't want that. But I was able to do that. In fact, I did it twice because I put 2 in here, and as you can hopefully tell on the back side here, as far as I can tell, I ended up pretty much right in the center of that ridge, the aluminum mini chassis, and it worked out just perfect. And then what I used for bolts, so this rail, it comes with hardware, but it's not really made for this scenario. The bolts are kind of short, so I need a little bit longer. These, I got some stainless ones, 10/32, or I keep saying that, 1032, a 3/4 inch one. These two are 3/4 inch. This one's 1 inch, just because the stock, the plastic part of the stock, is a little bit thicker back here. So I used a little bit thicker screw there, or longer screw. And then also I put some blue removable Loctite on each one of those, and then, you know, just torqued them down with a screwdriver. Could have used I have a torque screwdriver, but something like this is really not that critical. So I just got them, you know, pretty tight. But you got to keep in mind, you have a stainless screw going into aluminum. You don't want to really ham on it, or you will probably strip out that aluminum. So that's what it looks like. I think I'm going to like it. I still have, I think, enough room here between the magazine well and this rail to hold it and shoot offhand. And then We'll see how this goes. Adjust this. It should go right into my anvil. You can see there's, I mean, the 2 inches of Arca doesn't seem like much, but it's actually perfect for this kind of head. It's pretty much the same size as the clamping area on the head anyway. And yeah, I think this is going to work out. Again, ideally, you'd have it back here a little bit further, or, you know, wherever the rifle balances. It just makes it a little bit nicer when you're running, when you're adjusting the tripod, so you don't have, it's not back heavy and it's trying to flop down, or front heavy is trying to flop this way every time you're adjusting it. But this, I think, is going to be close enough, and this is a really good head. Solid tripod. I don't think I'm going to have any problems. So that's what I got. Again, this was from Salmon River Solutions. They have a lot of different rails, and I've bought other ones, like their 4-inch tactical for other rifles, but I wanted to try this one out because it was really intriguing to have both the Arca and the pick in one piece. So I'm going to put this back together, and probably in a couple weeks here go shoot some prairie dogs and see how I like it.